Hello there, it's Kristen here again, and in this video I will take you through a basic bridging exercise. There are probably thousands, millions, I don't know, videos on YouTube about how to do this bridging exercise. Why am I adding one to it? Well, I want to show you my way. I don't want to show it to you, actually. I want you to experience it. So I will probably do it myself as well, because why not? But I will talk you through it, and I invite you to get on the floor and maybe even close your eyes, never mind the screen, and just listen and explore and see how that, and feel how that is for you. Because my flavor means I will help you explore this movement in an embodied way, in a somatic way, in a healthy way, I would like to argue, and in a way that may give you some new experiences of this movement, because chances are you've come across this exercise before. It's a popular one, that's why I picked it. It exists in yoga, it exists in Pilates, it exists in the gym. So it is pretty much everywhere. And most of us have done it before, but we may have done it all in very different ways. There are many different strategies that are being taught. And I suppose if mine is a strategy, it's on the side of the somatic experiencing exploration. So we will have some grounding in this. So if you're familiar with grounding, it's something that I use in the bridge quite a lot, actually, that I use in a lot of my movement work, right? So it's got a lot of benefits to it, this bridging exercise, because of those sort of focuses on the somatic experience of it, will help you be in your body more, help you discover some stuff about you, and it will probably make you also feel calmer. It might feel easier, like this movement is a bit more pleasurable or easier than it normally is. Because here's the thing, is that a lot of us are trained or to believe or told to believe that exercising must be hard. Exercising is all about, building muscles or stretching, getting the repetitions in, doing it like so. It's very external. There doesn't seem to be a lot of consideration for how is our body actually experiencing this movement, because in the end of the day, it's a movement. It's not an exercise, really. It's a movement. And movement should be free, movement should be pleasurable, movement should be easy, actually. Of course, I might want to challenge myself to feel stronger, be able to do bigger things for longer, and so on. But the funny thing is, by constantly pushing our body and meeting the barriers, meeting the limits, that doesn't necessarily work that well to make us more efficient, more strong, more healthy, less prone to injury. There may be smarter ways to do that. So what I'm going to show you, or what I'm going to take you through, will be one of those smarter options to work harder, where it doesn't feel that hard, hopefully. So if you're ready, have a mat or have something on the floor that you can get down on, lying on your back. And I will go down there too, but you won't have to watch me. I'm here if you want to catch a quick glimpse of what I'm talking about or what this movement is, if you're finding it really difficult to just go by hearing. But I would really encourage you to forget the screen a little bit and just maybe even close your eyes or see what you see. I'll also talk you through some orienting, and to just follow the audible, so that it's not about copying what I'm doing, but it's about embodying what I'm saying, if that works. Having said that, I will be doing it with you, so I can embody it myself at the same time, and I'm just here as a bit of a reference, as a visual reference if you need it. So at the moment, I'm having a cushion here, and you could do that too. You could have one. We will take that away though, once we're doing this bridging exercise. So let's arrive on the ground with the knees bent and the feet, the soles of the feet to be precise, in contact with the ground. And I got myself this cushion because I wanted my head to just be slightly more propped up. Because if I take it away, it's not too bad, but I do have a sense that my head is just kind of falling a little bit backwards and it's creating some tension. So I'm giving myself a moment to actually just arrive in this and be in the starting position for the bridge. My arms, they're not too involved in the bridge, so actually I can just feel into where do I want them. So as you're on the floor, really feel free to just get accustomed to the ground and take your time. Who cares about bridging? We're on the ground, we're lying down. And usually that feels quite nice, doesn't it? If it doesn't, well, you know, if you're not comfortable here, then doing lots of exercises here is not really, doesn't sound logical to me. So what do you need to become more comfortable here? Could be a question. So for me, it is a little bit of a pillow under my head and taking a moment to find my breath here, to just notice it. And like I said, the contact with the ground. Could be nice to close your eyes. I have not particularly put my legs in any particular position in terms of width or degree of bend at the knee. I put my legs where they feel right, where that feels somewhat easy, where my hips have some ease, where I don't need any effort to hold on to the legs or to keep them there. I'll maybe even move them a little bit. So nothing needs to be static. For me, that's one of the big things about any kind of setup for any exercise or any movement. I remember also the days of sort of, I'm setting myself up like so, my arms go here, my legs go there, da, 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 da. Well, actually, how about just allowing your body to be the shape that it wants to be within the parameters of this setup? Take your time there a moment. What does your body really want? Where does it want your arms? And just allow it to, or allow yourself to follow that. So I often end up with my arms around my head somehow. Feels nice and open, feels more heavy in my shoulders. I like it. I sleep like that too. And as I allow that, my body just finds so much ease here. How about yours? If you're not sure, change it a little bit around again. Go, how was it elsewhere? Is that really the place? Or is there some kind of middle ground that feels right to you? And where you can detect your body settling, your body saying yes. Yes, this is me. This is where I like my arms. And this is where and how I like to position my legs. And I mentioned the contact with the ground. Just notice, where is it? It's under the feet. So maybe you take a moment there to kind of just play a little bit with that contact through your feet, exploring it a little bit, which may also again give you a little bit more information of where do you want your feet for this movement that's going to happen. And then again, once you're finding really your spot for your feet, where they make contact, is there a little bit more ease in the system? And of course, the back of your pelvis, your back, your shoulders, and the back of your head also make contact. So acknowledge that, the heaviness, the quality of the heaviness, and the support. And then can you really acknowledge gravity? Gravity helping you to drop into the back of yourself a little more. And can you acknowledge that the ground is really holding you up? And you perhaps can just allow yourself to be held up, supported, so that the tension, the weight can really drop into the support, into your back, into your soles of your feet, into the back of your head. And then take a moment to become more aware of your eyes and working with eyes. So doing stuff with our eyes can be quite strong. So if you feel like it's triggering anything in you that's uncomfortable in any way, then you can also just let your eyes do what they want to do. But just notice what they're doing at the moment. Are they closed? Are they blinking? Are they squinting? Are they very wide? Are they tired? And appreciate again that knowing that you know what feels good right now, what your body wants, what your eyes want to do. And give them that for a moment. And then you could just for a moment acknowledge that you have 2 feet and 2 eyes. It's like they are sort of at opposite ends of the body. 2 focus points. A right foot and a left foot on the floor. And a right eye and a left eye wide in your head. And I just want to invite you to have a look at whatever is above you, if your eyes are closed. And just let your eyes wander around a little bit, exploring that ceiling or sky or whatever is there. Maybe allowing your eyes to open a little more by kind of looking a bit more towards the top of your head or down, letting them soften and close a little more, looking towards your knees. And also noticing how much can you see on either side of your sort of peripheral vision. Are you aware that there's space there too? And again, allow the eyes to do whatever they want to do. And we're going to move the cushion away now, if you have one. So we've spent some time here settling in a little bit more into the ground, and now we've made a change. So notice the change. Oh yeah, my head suddenly further back. It causes maybe a little bit of tension somewhere. So maybe just allow yourself to explore this sort of new level, lower level of head support. And depending on how that feels, you could, allow your head to just heavily roll a little side to side. And it's rolling, it's not sliding. It's like your head ends up a little bit over on the left and a little over to the right, on the right. Again, your arms might want to just help out, making this a little bit more comfortable. And the head settles. And again, feel your feet. Push a little bit, maybe one foot then the other into the floor. allowing the pelvis to respond a little, like you're kneading the ground. Because really the bridging is about standing on your feet to a degree. So get a sense of that, and maybe again you want to change a little bit of where your feet are with this prospect of wanting to stand on top of them, wanting to get to somewhere where your knees can reach forward and make your lower leg bones stand somewhat vertical. But all you're doing really right now is just testing out, putting some weight onto your feet. Gently pushing into the ground. Yes, my pelvis is coming up as I do that. Maybe yours is too, and that's fine. You're still not having a goal to go anywhere with it. You're just testing out your ability to stand and to use that support from the floor. And as you explore that a little bit more, again, maybe your legs would like to be a little wider or a little closer together. Maybe your feet want to be further away or closer to you. And, there are sort of standard positions that we sometimes put ourselves in because it is good to, challenge our habits as well. But there's also something about going with what your body finds most efficient, and it will know that if you allow it to explore it. You will feel where things feel like they're in a supportive place that has ease. And why wouldn't we want that? So make those small adjustments if you feel like inclined to do that. And as you continue practicing, exploring standing on your feet, also notice that your feet, of course, get heavier as they really meet that support from the ground. And your pelvis is certainly getting lighter. It may even take off, as we said. And what is happening in your upper body in terms of this change or reorganization of weight? As your feet get heavier and your pelvis gets lighter, perhaps some weight from the pelvis is also pouring into your upper body. And I would really invite you to find or to allow that heaviness, that weight to drop right between your shoulder blades into that broad upper back thing that is between the shoulder blades on the ground. So how would it be to come up to a place where you can really feel the breastbone with your exhales dropping into that space? And again, maybe your arms want to change where they are to allow that to be felt more. You could even take them away from the ground. And sort of, really feel the ground. Shift your weight a little bit, like you're massaging yourself between your shoulder blades with the help of the ground. And of course, as you go, this is bridging. So maybe you're finding yourself coming further up. And your end position for this basic bridge would be somewhere where your knees and your hips and your shoulders create more or less a line. It's hard to feel, easier to see if you had a mirror. But to be honest, how important is it really? Again, it's an external thing. Where do you feel that your hips are kind of opening, that there is some stability and strength coming from the back of your legs and the back of your pelvis, and that there's ease pretty much everywhere else? And if you're not sure, we could also explore this. So come back down again, have a little rest. And really rest, feel that what you've just done sort of slowly disperse into the ground. And when you feel it subside and you're ready again and refueled, I'm going to do a bit of an experiment. Make fists. And if you want to include the eyes, focus your vision on some small spot above you somewhere. Tense your shoulders and your jaw. Contract your hips, your stomach, your thighs, even your feet. So bring in tension deliberately into the whole body. And then slowly bridge up using this strength, this tensioning, this contracting, this over-recruitment really of everything. And really sort of come up into your bridge and really hold it all together tightly, keeping your eyes fixed on the spot above you. And slowly come back down without losing the tension. Keep it all the way down until you're again a rigid mess on the ground. And then very slowly, as you're feeling the floor again under your pelvis, allow your body to sort of melt and the hands release. And your eyes might release. Again, letting your vision spread a little. And again, remember, for some of us, doing these sort of somatic exercises can cause, can trigger intensity of things that are held inside and, boxed up neatly somewhere. And we're getting in touch with those and mobilizing them, and that can sometimes be quite strong. So if you feel unsettled in any way, just take your time to slow down and take a pause and just feel that support from the ground, or sit yourself up and make yourself a cup of tea and do whatever you feel will help you calm down. So you never push through these things. Same for pain, really. If there's a lot of discomfort, don't push through it. Hear your body. So now, if you're still with me, let's do the opposite, because this might be a much more pleasant experience, I'm assuming. Not for everybody, but it's on the whole. So really allow that widening, your eyes, your vision widening, opening, the hands are more open. Notice if you're still holding on anywhere in the jaw. Can you release that? Sometimes we can't. Notice that too, so that there you learn something about yourself and your tension patterns. Can you let it go? Can you let it all go? And when you feel ready, really slowly let your feet meet the ground without anything noticeable switching on. Some muscles will still be working, otherwise you wouldn't be moving. But the clever thing is they're working at such a mild intensity that you're not even feeling it. So see where you can come to in your bridge, thinking spacious hips, spacious shoulders, spacious feet and hands, spacious eyes and jaw. And maybe you're not going all the way up as before. You're just slowly, again, letting your weight pour into the bit between your shoulder blades and your feet. Notice if some muscles want to get more involved, and don't go there yet. See how far you can go without that happening. How is that different to what you just did before? And then maybe if you feel like, well, I could go higher now, but I do then need some more muscle to get involved, or then slowly allow that, but only as much as you need to get a little further to where you want to get to. How much effort did that really take? What was the minimum, or what is the minimum? And how can you support that to remain minimal so that you could stay here maybe for, I don't know, minutes, hours. Because that's the thing, isn't it? If we make it hard, if we go in with the expectation that we have to work hard, we're actually limiting ourselves because we're putting in a lot more effort than is needed, and we won't be able to hold it for as long, and we're just tiring ourselves out. Again, feel free here to move, to change. There is no perfect position. You're living here. You're living in your bridge right now. It's not like you're just got there and then you're moving on and you've ticked that off the list. You're alive right now, here doing something good for you. And hopefully it's not like gritting teeth and just having to get through it, but just being in it and enjoying it a little bit. And then again, you might be coming down, slowly releasing that. And then again, I invite you to just notice what your body wants now. Maybe letting it all go and stretch out. It might be different for you. I definitely got a signal to go flat, stretch out, let the legs reach out. So allow your body that, what it's asking for. Maybe it's ice cream. Get to that. Take a moment, because you've actually done some deep work there just now. And there's some processing going on. There's some learning, some change, some release, some shifts going on inside. On a subtle level, perhaps, or maybe not so subtle. And give that a little bit of time and support to integrate. We're often rushing off doing the next thing. We've only done, one exercise really here for I don't know how long. I don't care because I don't look at the time. But I've taken time. I just made space for this one movement to really explore it. And quite often we're just running off doing the next one. We would have done 10 exercises by now, maybe. Let us be with this one. Be with the aftermath of this one. Giving it time. And then, take as much time as you like, but notice how you feel, and it might be interesting to change position slowly to gather a little bit more information about what's different now, how you feel different now, what's changed. And so I'm going to roll onto my side. I invite you to do that too. Take your time and really be in that. Every transition is an experience. Feeling the different contact with the ground and feeling how our body knows how to move from one thing to another. We've learned this a long time ago. It's sometimes worth appreciating that, isn't it? Self-indulge a little bit if you can in that freestyle exercise, really freestyle movement of slowly, really in your time, transitioning to something that is more upright than the lying on your back. Without forcing anything, without pushing yourself, without being ahead of yourself. Feeling your extremities help you. Maybe some areas stretching even in the process. Your breath. What your eyes are seeing as you're now in a different orientation. How are you looking around your space now? Has that changed to when you started? And if you're observant rather than in your own experience, you probably can tell that I've slowed way down, that my voice is different, perhaps even, because I'm feeling right brought down. in my nervous system in a good way. Very still, calm, moved, connected, rich of experience, settled. Maybe you can think of a couple of words that you could just pop out there or put in the comments. How you feel now, what you're noticing that's different. How would you describe this slightly changed state? All just through a bridge. So, feel free to return to it any time or apply the same kind of ideas, if you like, to any other movements. When you're getting up and walking over to whatever you're walking over to next, how can you do that in that similar embodied, explorative way, aware of the ground, being in the experience? Try it out and let me know. That's me for now, for today. Take this feeling with you, if you like, into the rest of your day, and see you soon.